Evening. This is Jalen.H, and this is my week 4 presentation on professional development. I know regarding this week, we were looking into tech in the classroom, tech being used by teachers, students, outside sources like parents and administration. So I thought it'd be great to give an insight on some of the technology tools that I would use in the classroom and some that can be effective in daily learning. So to start off, I know initially we wanted some kind of icebreaker, something to get people's attention. So what I did, I thought something simple and straightforward and fun would be using a face that best expresses how one would feel about using tech in their classroom from like a teacher or an outside perspective. I know this is a digital presentation. I feel like if I were doing this presentation, say in a meeting with a lot of people sitting down, I'd print out a bunch of these faces, put them on tables, and have people either come up and paste them onto a sheet, or I'd just have them sort it, throw it into a bucket, or put it onto a little pole that they have on their table that I would provide. But since this is digital, I would just have whoever's in the meeting drag it onto the poll section, just like we have them separated into four categories. The thumbs up face is the confidence. I've got it down. It's easy. I do it all the time. The subtle cool glasses face is feeling comfortable, open to insight and everything, taking different perspectives, but for the most part, I understand what I'm doing. The confused face, the funny one. The I have some confusion and need more direction, having the basic 1, 2 down, but you just need more insight onto what people might do. And the SOS one, the one where all heck breaks loose. That's the one where we just have teachers or people who are maybe getting familiar with using tech for the first time or in different environments. Maybe like a teacher who's just getting into the classroom for the first time, or maybe a gen ed teacher, an admin going into SPED, and they're having to switch up their curriculum and switch up the needs of the students. So they're kind of starting from square one. So I thought this was a good little icebreaker to get people engaged. So tech implementation importance. It's very important that it's included in classrooms in such a changing way of society because technology is everywhere. Implementing technology in the classroom is important because it increases student engagement, supports different learning styles, and prepares students with digital skills they may need for the real world. It also helps teachers personalize instruction, assess learning more effectively, and communicate progress more efficiently. Technology also gives students access to up to date information and interactive tools that promote collaboration, creativity, and critical thinking. I think when used intentionally, it can help close those learning gaps that come up sometimes. There are different kinds of learners and learners who need to take different approaches to their learning. Technology is something that closes that vague or that hard gap a little bit, and it gives a lot of different variety. Every student may need a different way of teaching, and technology produces a lot of those different teaching ideas. On the right hand side, we just have a couple studies that back up the importance of technology. One specific one at the bottom from Grand Canyon University states that technology makes it easier for students to collaborate and work in teams. I think it's very important if students are in a public school setting to learn how to work amongst their peers because they're going to have to do that sometimes in the real world. You're just going to come across people. So, getting that initial guide or that initial path into understanding how to collaborate is something that's crucial and important. So, how can we use technology to plan, instruct, and assess student learning in a minimum of three tools to support growth? So, my first tool for tracking student success and goals is the use of IXL.com, which is a highly regarded and reliable program for K 12 students, offering comprehensive skill based practice in math, ELA, science, social studies, and Spanish. It features adaptive learning tech to adjust to a student's proficiency level, providing immediate feedback to track progress. This is something similar to what some teachers may use in classes sometimes. It's something that tracks student progress, keeps up with what they're doing. It recommends next assessment steps, next ideas that they may need to take in order to expand their growth or strengthen what they're having a hard time with. It's a skill based curriculum that provides over 17,000 targeted skills that align with state standards, which is great. That makes teachers and those in charge feel like the things that they're taking from this website are things that are needed and necessary in their curriculum. It definitely acts as a tool for extra practice, skill reinforcement, and curriculum supplementation. It's something that students can do on academic time with their teachers, but also on their own time. And it kind of structures and builds up what they are lacking in. It definitely helps grow on proficiency, and it's just tool website that is reliable, well regarded, and something that a lot of educators and students are comfortable with now. Tool number two for colleague interaction is Zoom Workplace. Zoom Workplace is something that is growing huge in my field that I work in. I work in a public school system in Riverside County, California, working with moderate severe autism, and you get a lot of different people in the door. You get a lot of different outside services, a lot of higher ups, a lot of admin. It's hard to bring those people in the same building sometimes, trying to get to the same idea for these students when there's just so many different sources that have to come in to make these students grow. So that's where Zoom Workplace comes in handy. It's an AI powered collab platform that unifies communication, productivity, and office management tools into a single app. It represents the evolution of Zoom from a video conferencing tool into a comprehensive workspace solution. It's an integrated AI system, like I mentioned before. The reality is that we're in a day and age to where AI is being included in a lot of things in education. A lot of people take it as a con. I kind of see it as a pro. You're getting a lot of insight and sometimes getting that structured human organization without any interruptions is tricky. So AI is just a robotic system. It just takes over what's needed. No emotion, no back and forth. It just gets what's needed done. And that's why it's something great here in Zoom Workplace. It just brings all the elements together that we need and it's straightforward. It can be done with team chat, phone, email, calendar. It can be all put together. Teachers and educators and anyone that's involved, they can hold meetings on here. They can stay in contact in group chats and messages so that they're all closer on the same page. Being in a public school system, like I mentioned before, there's just not always the opportunity to sit there and be in the same room while trying to brainstorm or be on track for the same ideas. So something that helps to minimize that gap is great, and that's why Zoom Workplace is such a big A plus home run for me. Two, three. This one has to be my favorite right now. Parent and family communication, which is through the Parent Square app. So most of us who are online or on digital tools are very familiar with either social media, messaging, emailing, and just staying in contact. Those things are easy to navigate. Once you get familiar, they're great. So what the inventors of Parent Square did, they said, hey, how about we take that format style, throw it into an app so that parents and students, no, I'm sorry, parents and teachers can be in close communication about their students and what's going on. The tricky thing about keeping parents in the loop for the last couple of years was there was just interruptions on stuff. Parents work a lot. Parents are gone. Parents can't always take the time to sit there and pick up a phone call or wait for a message or something in the mail. Parent Square is now and it's current and it's great because it's like those apps and things that we use. It's very modern. It's very understanding. The user interface is great and it just keeps parents and teachers in connection and touch. It's a unified K 12 communication and engagement platform designed to bridge the gap between schools and families into one secure, accessible via mobile app, web, text, or email. Like I mentioned before, it is accessible to whatever someone is comfortable with, whether they're comfortable with taking a phone call, texting, email, something that's right away, like a phone call, like, hey, I need to be notified now, or a phone call where parent can step aside and get the information when needed. It just keeps parents in the loop of what's going on with their students, and that's great because it's direct, it's secure, it's safe, and it knocks everything into one category. So to close my presentation, I wanted to think of a fun exit ticket. I thought of something interesting like Kahoot, but the idea of this presentation is implementing tech into the classroom, which means you might have those who are a bit unfamiliar. So throwing them into the idea of playing a game or something, while fun, it can be a little tricky if they don't understand the technology idea yet. They might just be in this presentation because they want to be informed, not assessed. So I thought, okay, let's do an exit ticket wrap up to where I can get feedback on what I can improve on or what people took away. So this is my exit ticket that I created. It's a simple Google Forms. They would put their name in first. They'd put their email or however they were attached to the meeting. I asked three simple questions. What's one important tool you learned in the presentation today that you would apply in your classroom? Maybe it's one of the three tools that I mentioned. Maybe it's an idea that they took away from the three tools. Do you feel more understanding of the importance of tech in a classroom setting after today's presentation? Why or why not? The growth and understanding of tech can be complex and tricky, and just understanding where people are with that goes a long way. Getting that feedback and that insight might make them feel confident and make someone like myself feel confident in how I present it, or make me restructure how I give that information so it's easier for the audience. My last question was, what would help make today's lesson more effective for the future? Just that short term or long term insight that helps a lot. It helps someone like me restructure my approach and help to be more direct with what I'm giving in the future, or maybe it can give ideas what to focus on and what not to focus on. Maybe someone could be like, "Hey, I love the information you gave. I think you spent too much time on this," or maybe you didn't spend enough time explaining this. Just simple examples that would help in the long run. And for my last slide, last but not least, I just listed 5 crucial references. Obviously, I took the technology website tools that I used. I also had a few, like I mentioned before, like Grand Canyon University, that just helped to back up and strengthen the information that I presented in this slide with reliable information and statistics done through studies. Thank you so much.